Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm sitting here and I'm watching sanetter Black News 102, and this is an old video of Shaka Ahmos and Ali Muhammad talking about Kemet, the Bible, the Quran, Islam. And one point I want to make is they're big up in this book written by some German scholars talking about Islam, the origins of Islam being Christianity. It amazes me how they give these people these people's opinions such weight. Okay, they talk about this guy, this Umayyad ruler, Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. They talk about this guy, and they try to say that he tried to take on the persona of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you listen to these people, you will get a complete miseducation about Islam. And this including Ali Muhammad, Shaka Ahmos. See, it's one thing to look at something from the outside and think that you understand what's going on, but some things require a detailed study to see what is really going on with it. You see, if we just look at the state of African Americans from the outside, like most people do, okay, we can look at these people and say, generally speaking, they have a few success stories, but generally speaking, they're fucked up. Okay, which is the case, but that could falsely be attributed to their own innate weakness or lack of intelligence, which is not the case. But if you look into the detailed history of us, especially in this country, you can see why black people are in the condition that they're in. It didn't just happen by accident, and it's not something that's innate in them. This is due to conditions that have been placed upon them by forces greater than them. But one has to look into it to see this. Okay. Likewise with Islam, you see, if you don't study it to some degree of detail, you will have a complete misunderstanding of it. You will have a misunderstanding of the Quran. You will have a misunderstanding of the Hadith, which they like to talk so much about. And the vast majority of these people, I haven't run across one yet that has done any type of detailed study of Islam, including Ali Muhammad. Okay, first of all, he's reading at least what we consider to be a weak translation of the Quran. Okay, why doesn't he have any other translations that he reads? Why doesn't he have any tafsirs, you understand, or books of ahadith? He'd rather read books by German historians, okay, to tell him about the history of Islam instead of reading what Muslims say about their own history. And I don't care if you go to Arabs or non-Arabs, okay, if they're Muslims, they're going to give you a much better history of Islam than what you're going to get from some European historians who probably don't even speak the language. Okay, so how are you going to go and tell us what the history of Islam is if you don't even have access to the real sources of it? Okay. Yes, now we're going to, like, if you take Sunni and Shia, they are at odds quite often, but this was not always the case. And even still, we still pretty much agree on what took place. We just have different understandings and interpretations of what took place, generally speaking. Now, getting back to some other things that they have said, like he said in the video that there's no such thing as Arabic language. He's mistaken, woefully mistaken. Okay. The Quran says very clearly that it is revealed in, for lack of a better word, Arabic, in the Arabic language or the Arabic tongue. Okay. It says this very clearly. Okay. Now, you could argue that the term Arabic is a Latin term, but what does it say in the Arabic? What does the Arabic say and not the translation? Okay. You see, these are things that I see, as if he's sitting on this couch with Shaka Ahmos, they're just glossing over. Okay. Just like he was talking about the word anam, okay, which generally means cattle, and it doesn't necessarily mean cows. I think this is a general term applied to not just cows, but to animals like goats and sheep and things like that in general. You know, the Arabs have different words for cattle or cow. You understand? Like mashi in Arabic means to walk. Okay. And like I say, amshalatul, like go straight ahead. Okay. Walk ahead straight. But for cattle, they have mawashi, and probably stemming from the fact that people who herded cattle or raised cattle used to walk them out to graze, you know. So that's probably where they get the term mawashi, you see. So, but that means cattle, okay, cows, okay. They have different words for goats and sheep, but el-anam is a general term for cattle-like creatures. Okay. Now, anamta, which is what he was commenting on from Surah Al-Fatiha, this is a convenience. This is a blessing. This is a comfort. And so, I would imagine that cattle are called that because they are a source of convenience for humans. We eat them. We use their skin for clothing. We drink the milk. We do, you know, a lot of things with them. So they are a convenience. You see, they are a comfort. You know, people tie wagons to them and have them pull them. You see, they use them to plow fields. Okay, to plant crops. Okay, so you can kind of see how one meaning comes out of another. Okay, but they try to spin it like, oh, they're trying to hide things. They're trying to hide the real meaning of the book. I mean, if you took that the first chapter Al-Fatiha that he was reading with Shaka Ahmos, and you take out you change the meaning to cattle, then it's not gonna make much sense. It makes more sense if you look at the variety of meanings of the word and connotations, that it means comfort or convenience or a blessing, you see. So, but people that talk like that are ignorant of Arabic, so they talk like that, you see. I did a video in which I showed several of the books that I have. Okay, and I have more books than that, but anyway, the point is this right here. They talk about the hadith as if the hadith are bad. No, because I've read several hadith and the meanings here on my YouTube channel. I made videos about it, and it's all good. What is the problem with the hadith? These are people that don't read the hadith. They sit back and they listen to arguments by European Orientalists who hate Islam, or somebody like Dr. York who took their arguments and rehashed them again, you know. But you have to understand that the Europeans have a deep, in general, okay, and I'm speaking in general terms, that they have a deep hatred for Islam because the Muslims came into Europe and conquered them on the east and the west. Okay, from Turkey, the Turks went all the way to the walls of Vienna, Austria. Okay, and the Moors went all the way up into southern Spain. I mean, not southern Spain, southern France. Okay, so the Europeans, they looked, and also the Muslims took the Holy Land from them. Okay, so you have to understand that these European Orientalists have a deep hatred of Islam, and if they can make the Muslims doubt Islam, then that zeal for jihad would leave them. You know, and I imagine this is the objective of such books like the Hidden Origins of Islam. But anyway, this is what they feared. Okay, you know, that's what they have the most problem with, and this is why they write books like that. And it is amazing to me that these two brothers here cannot see the game. You trust these people to tell you what Islam is, you might as well trust them to tell you what the sanetter is. You understand? So I don't put any stock in what those people say, and even still, Islam was here before this Umayyad Caliph that they're talking about, Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. Okay, he was one of a long line of Umayyad Caliphs, but before the Umayyads, we had the four rightly guided caliphs, and after the Umayyads, we had the Abbasids, who were descended from the Rasul, from the Prophet's family, I should say. But anyway, and then after them there was somebody else, and then after them there was another group of people. You see. So, but the point is that Islam was here before this guy, Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. The Hadith was here before him. All of this was already here before this guy came on the scene. And so they try to paint the picture like this guy is a self-styled Prophet Muhammad, you know. And I don't know what this guy's intention was. I don't know what was going through his head, you know. And I don't know what he tried to do. But the point is that Islam was already here. The Hadith was already here. You see, his ancestors had already accepted Islam before he got here. Okay, it was already known who the Prophet was. How do you think Islam got to Ethiopia? No conquering armies went into Ethiopia. You know, now the Persians, on the other hand, they were conquered. Okay, but they were conquered prior to this Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. This happened during the reign of Omar radiallahu anhu. Okay, so you know, but you have to look at things in more detail than what they're doing, and you know, you could get a much better picture. But just reading these books by these European Orientalists is not going to get it. They're going to misinform you and mislead you every time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.